The girl climbed out of the box. She had come all this way just to see her father. He was a murderer, but his intelligence was only at the level of a 6-year-old child. The father hugged the girl tightly. The prisoners were afraid that the girl's presence would lead to them being punished. Just then, a prison guard came over and looked into the room. He suddenly opened the window under the door and the prisoners immediately lifted the girl up. However, the father was stunned because he saw the warden. Then the father was put in solitary confinement and the girl was sent back to the orphanage. At that moment, the prison suddenly caught fire, and everyone escaped. A prison guard released the father, but on his way to escape, he saw the warden trapped behind a cabinet. The father used his body to push open the cabinet and rushed into the fire to rescue the warden. The warden looked at the father's face and began to wonder how such a kind person could be a murderer. Back at the prison, the prisoners received a box. The girl stood up from inside, and the father happily hugged her. A prison guard told them that the warden had brought the girl in. Everyone was very kind to the girl. The prisoners even told her stories. The girl secretly brought in a mobile phone, allowing the prisoners to call their families. Everyone was happy. They even made stars and a moon for the girl in the prison. Through investigation, the warden discovered that the father had been framed. He was not a murderer. The warden requested that the police officer re-examine the father's case. Everyone began to teach the father how to testify. They even held a mock trial to let the father practice his defense. The father performed well. He was soon able to prove his innocence, but on the day of the trial, the father hesitated. The judge asked him if he was a murderer. He confessed. It turned out that the police officer had threatened the father, saying that if the father didn't plead guilty, he would harm the girl. For the girl's safety, the father kept repeating that he was guilty. He was sentenced to death. On the day of the execution, the girl was by his side. He tidied the girl's hair and told her to take good care of herself. He hugged the girl tightly, knowing he could no longer be by her side. He smiled and waved goodbye to the girl. Both pretended to be happy, not wanting to worry the other. The father suddenly ran back. He wasn't afraid of death. He was only afraid of not being able to watch his daughter grow up. He knelt on the ground, begging the guards to save him. But they both knew it was useless. The girl would eventually become a child without a father. The father died, and the girl grew up to become a lawyer. The girl found all the evidence and defended her father. Ultimately, her father was acquitted, but he could never return. But if you want to watch it, the movie is called Gift from Rue.